Hello again, this is Everard Junction, and today we have a review of the latest Bachmann Class 37 in Intercity mainline livery. It's just arrived in the post, so I got it out of the box, put it on the track, checked to see the lights work. They do, so I checked it went forward and backwards as well, and it does. So now we shall put the decoder in it, have a look around, fit some accessories, do all the usual stuff. So I just thought I'd show you the process of me doing it and give you a look at this latest addition to the range of Class 37s. So here it is. It's very nice. Now the first thing I'd like to point out is, for some reason, not really sure why, you can probably see it there shining there, there seems to be a bit of oil or lubrication on all of the bogies on the actual face of them. Don't know why. Looks like it'll come off with a bit of a scrub, and you can't really notice it when it's just in the normal light levels, but I've got an extra light on this desk so you can get a better look. But other than that, this is a really nicely detailed locomotive. And also, which is a first for Bachmann, I think, I haven't seen this on a Bachmann locomotive before, but if you have, please let me know and I'll stand corrected. But this one actually has opening doors. Now I thought Hornby only did that, and certainly none of the Bachmann locomotives I have at the moment have opening doors, but this one does. So maybe they're trying to sort of catch up a little bit. They already do the cab lights, so if they start incorporating a working fan as well, they've pretty much covered all the bases of a real locomotive. All you need to do is add sound if you wish. But yeah, it's a nice loco. Very pleased with it. It's in a very distinct mainline intercity livery. Ends are nicely detailed as well, there you go. Got the little aerial on the end. Some nice horns. There you go. Roof detail is very nice as well. You've got a nice fan. This does spin if you blow on it, but it isn't actually driven by the locomotive. But I don't mind, to be honest. You don't really notice working fans as they're driving along unless you specifically look for them. I'd much rather have cab lights than a working fan. So there you go. Right, here's the manual, and as you can see here, for the body removal, it says just to remove some screws. So maybe it's just 4 screws and it slides off. If it is, that's brilliant, because I hate taking the bodies off trains. It's such a fiddly and annoying process, and you're always worried you're going to break something, and you quite often do. So that's a bonus. Right, well there's 6 screws that hold the body in, which are just there. I've already taken those out. They're quite stiff to take out, so I've mounted the loco on a piece of foam, which made it easier to take the screws out without damaging anything. So in theory there shouldn't be any clips, and the body should just lift off, hopefully. So let's see if it does. Seems to be. Oh. Well, hey. Well, that was nice and easy. That's brilliant. Saves quite a lot of time. That took about 5 minutes to get all those screws out, and now it's ready to have a decoder fitted. Right, well this train is a 21 pin DCC loco, so I have here the Bachmann 21 pin decoder, which I'm going to put in it, and there you can see the 21 pin plug, which needs to be removed very carefully, and then we can put the new decoder in. Right, so what we need to do to take this off is just give it a little wiggle. Try not to do too much wiggling, just gently prise it out. There you go. That wasn't too hard. And these only go in one way around. There's a pin that is deliberately missing, which is there, which means you can only put the decoder in a certain way around. It's not like an 8-pin one where you can get it a bit wrong. So you just need to seat the new decoder over the holes. Check before you push it down that you've got all the pins in the right place and it looks like it's going in. This one does. And then just gently push it down. Need to give it it's almost there. You should be quite careful with these. There we go. Pushes through and on it goes. So that was fairly easy, not too hard. So before you do anything else, better check it works. Right, train's on the track, and I can just about hear the decoder buzzing, so that's a good sign. Now all decoders are programmed, as I'm sure you know, to number 3 by default. So on the lens you go clear, which means new train. It asks you what loco you want to use. You select number 3, enter, number 3 comes up, and give it a bit of power, and away it goes. Change direction, and back it comes. Good. Well, it still works. So now I'll put the body on and do a few things before I run it in. Now, one thing I'd like to do just before I put the body on is get rid of these nasty tension lock couplings. They may be fine for a small oval layout, but for this layout with helixes, gradients, lefts, rights, ups and downs, they really don't like each other, especially when they're slightly different. For example, some coaches with some slightly bigger ones connected to these ones will cause havoc. So I prefer to use KDs. Got 2 KDs ready to go on the loco, one at either end, and I've got my KD height gauge, so I know that the couplings are the correct height. Right, I've removed the old tension lock couplings. These just pull out. Simply pull them out of the bogies with your fingers, pop the KD straight in. It's as easy as that. Pop the train on the track with the height gauge, and as you can see, Bachmann have made sure it is exactly the correct height for couplings. So that's now ready. I've got a coupling at either end, so we can pull trains either way. So now it really is a case of put the body back on and run it in. Right, the body is back on the train, and all is okay. The only thing I would say is you just have to be careful on putting the body back on with the front and rear lights. Just have to make sure the pieces of metal that make a contact to make the lights work don't get bent or damaged as you put them back on, and hopefully it'll work. When I put my body back on, it didn't work, so I just had to take the body off a few times, just fiddle with the pieces of metal strip that make the contact for the lights, and then they started working again, so it's not too bad. And I've programmed the decoder, given it an address and some acceleration and deceleration rates, so after the running in, it's ready for service.